A-firm train at 277 heavy.
Train there 277 heavy, runway 36 right at Alpha. Taxi via Charlie, Alpha, hold short, runway 36 left.
Listening live to the live ATC ground control at Dallas.
Taxi via Charlie, Alpha, hold short, runway 36 left, train at 737 heavy.
During de-icing conditions.
Exit at 636, monitor tower, 124.15.
American 2674 ready for taxi for takeoff.
And MS who's ready to come out for takeoff?
2674 off of a hotel.
There he is. Nope.
American 2674, DS of ground, runway 36 right, taxi via Golf and Whiskey Romeo.
Golf Whiskey Romeo for 36 right, American 2674.
American 2674, you might have mentioned it, but information uniform is current altimeter 3033.
Okay, we have uniform 3033, American 2674.
Here he is. American 2674 taxiing out. Icy day today at Dallas Airport. Let's take a look at the misery index. We're listening to ground control as they're working through the icy conditions and doing de-icing on the airplanes. It's a good day to be home by the fire, watching this from the comfort of the computer here instead of being out there on the flight line. These are the kind of days that are hard working days when you're flying the line, dealing with de-icing procedures. Here's the current misery index for Dallas, showing 32 delays and 129 cancellations according to the misery map here on FlightAware. And it's been a rough couple of days here. Back it up this morning. And back it up to even yesterday. Lots of cancellations and lots of delays as this icy weather system moves through the area. And this happens every year in Dallas, especially this freezing rain. There's nothing worse than freezing rain. Slicker than snot on a glass doorknob. It just sticks to all the airframe surfaces of the airframe of the airplanes and is very tough working conditions. All that has to be removed by de-icing the aircraft before the aircraft can leave. And setting up the whole de-icing process at the airport
277 heavy, monitor tower 124.15.
requires a lot of time and manpower and slows the operation way down and ultimately ends up in a lot of cancellations and delays. Going back 2 days, 2 days of misery here at Dallas Airport. But it looks like things are beginning to, the weather hopefully is beginning to move further east and things are beginning to improve. Another look at the real-time situation here on Flight Radar 24 over here on the left. Let me switch this over so you can see it. There we go. Arrivals and departures. This is the arrival map or arrival schedule, and we got a lot of cancellations, a lot of delays, and departures. Again, quite a few cancellations and quite a few delays. Fortunately, it's not a real busy travel time right now, so hopefully minimal impact on everybody, but getting through the icy situation at Dallas is a challenge. According to Reuters, it looks like about 1,800 flights total were canceled as of the date of this article. 800 flights at American Airlines and 501 flights at Southwest. So hopefully Southwest is able to handle this with their IT issues. Remember, they can handle...
American 115, heavy Southwest, ice pad, ready to taxi.
And I think that's American 115 heavy ready to come out with uniform.
We'll get uniform in Tango.
And 115 heavy, runway 36 right, taxi via Golf and Whiskey Romeo.
36 right, Golf Whiskey Romeo.
There he is right there, American 115 coming out of the ice pad.
115 heavy, monitor tower 124.15.
Getting ready to taxi out. So back over here at Southwest, remember earlier we talked about they can handle 300 problems with the scheduling software before it begins to collapse on them. And so far things are looking pretty smooth over here at Southwest.
Foxtrot and Whiskey Papa to 36 right, Frontier 2135.
Turn that guy down. Looking at the rivals here at Southwest, we see a lot of green, not too many delays or cancellations. This is at Dallas Love Field, the home of Southwest Airlines. Looking at departures, looking at a lot of green, very few delays or cancellations. The de-icing process is a very carefully choreographed process between the de-icing crew members and the aircraft crew members inside the cockpit, as well as dispatcher and everybody else. And the weather folks, they're looking at the weather, the precipitation amounts, the type of precipitation you're having, and come up with a formula for the de-icing equipment. And the pilots have de-icing flow charts in their checklists and time charts, how long this de-icing is good for before they have to return to the gate and get de-iced again, based on the rate of fall of the precipitation and the type of precipitation. So all that's very carefully choreographed. Once the aircraft is de-iced, there's a limited amount of time before you can take off, before you need to come back and get de-iced again if it's precipitating while you're waiting for departure. Because this de-icing fluid needs to slough off the wing nice and smoothly and not be sticking to the airframe. The hazards of icing on aircraft are pretty well known and well understood. The primary problem is the disruption of airflow over the airfoil, decreasing your lift. You also have the weight of the ice, increasing your weight. Your loss of thrust, especially in a propeller-driven aircraft, if you disrupt the airflow over the propeller, or the disruption of air through your turbine engines, and the increased drag from the icing as well. All very detrimental to the performance of the aircraft, especially if trying to take off with accumulated precipitation on top of the flying surfaces. All this needs to be removed before flight. Here's an example of the de-icing fluid shedding off of the wing of the airplane. Smooth laminar flow, and that fluid just sheds right off of the wing, not allowing any precipitation to pile up onto the wing. And then these jet aircraft can climb up through the weather quick enough. Of course, they got anti-ice and de-ice equipment on board the aircraft they can use once they get into the weather, and then they can climb out and get above it and not have to worry about it. Smooth shedding of the fluid and the material off of the flying surfaces of the aircraft. That's the whole idea of de-icing fluid, that ethyl glycol mix. And that mix changes based on the weather and the temperature as well. So a tough couple of days flying the line and working the line for the rampers and everybody out there in Texas. A good day to be home by the fireplace. Thanks so much for your support of this channel. See you here.